Wednesday edition of Shortcuts to Your Soul. It is Wednesday, April the 27th, 2022. And today I have with me the energy of Archangel Michael, and we're going to be considering the concept of what is freedom. And it's very fascinating, some of the things he's been saying to me, that most people think freedom is in terms of what you can do or not do in this world. That's just a small part of it. Real freedom comes in knowing who you are. And we're going to get into that in just a moment. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe. Click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And remember to give this video a thumbs up if you like the content. If you need to know more about what we're doing, our courses, our classes, information, you can click on any of the links in the description box below any of our videos on the this YouTube channel. Freedom is a funny thing. You know, we have our own conceptions about it as human beings, but Michael says it's really important that you understand that your awareness liberated from thought, liberated from emotion to such an extent and degree that you utilize them intentionally and deliberately in the act of creating your experiences, in the act of being a creator deliberately and consciously. Many of you have conceptions that having more money or more property is a definition of freedom. And while they are certainly facets of that from the perspective of being able to be comfortable physically in this world, they do not constitute the real definition of freedom. As if you lose those things, you will think you are not free anymore. But the reality of your existence is that it is not dependent on the things of this world, but the things in this world are dependent upon your freedom. In other words, how you treat this world and all others in it is dependent upon the nature of what you are believing yourself to be or knowing yourself to be. Believing yourself to be is that which you have acquired from this world. You believe yourself to be a certain name, a certain personality, a certain sex, a certain age, a certain hair color, a certain eye color. These are all things that you believe yourself to be. But please understand that the instrument that you utilize while in this physical dimension is not who you are, merely the apparatus through which you express your energy, your act of creation through that body. We will focus more intensely on questions today with regard to freedom, but it is important that you recognize the nature of who you are as something that is causative to the realm of time, space, and matter. The capacity to liberate yourself from the suffering that you are enduring in this world, or at least the illusion of your suffering in this world, depends wholly upon your ability to recognize that you are free and independent as a consciousness from the entrapments of thought, the entrapments of matter. They are simply instruments for utilizing as acts of creation. Being able to take your mind and make it quiet brings you closer to freedom than the mind that is incessantly chattering at you. And many of you have not yet made that simple distinction between yourself and the thoughts that you have, yourself and that body you have, yourself and the things that your senses and your biology interact with in this world. They are all simply instruments, but they are not what define you. In fact, you came here to understand how to define the process of creation as an intelligent and conscious function of your being, and that is freedom. The idea that you can deliberately change, alter your experience as an act of creation is the ultimate freedom. To know you can liberate yourself from suffering at will, to know that you can turn your thoughts off and be in a state of bliss. These are acts of a being that is free, and freedom is your being liberated in the process of being able to create and manifest conditions that you call your experiences in this world. Many of you are simply replaying information that was given to you as if it is you, replaying memories as if they are you, using that body as if it is you. And this is enslavement. Matter is meant to loan itself as an instrument for your utilization, not for you to be subjective to. As equally as your thoughts are designed to give you an understanding of how to utilize that form of energy as that which is causative to the physical manifestation of your being. And while you call upon me and many others to help liberate you from your fear and your pain and your anger and your uncertainty and your bad relationships, where you call for assistance, you call from a place where you believe that you are not free. You call us from a place where you believe that your thoughts define who you truly are, where you believe that your body defines who you truly are, where you believe that this world is what determines who and what you are, and it needs to be flipped around so that you understand that you as awareness can make the distinction between your awareness and the thoughts, that you can utilize your awareness to alter and change thought, which in turn interacts electrically, magnetically, with molecules and atoms. Thought begins to organize them, and that movement of thought generates a current that is also defined as emotion. You bring, with the intention of thought, you bring energy as emotion into your body. And those thoughts that you give attention to activate molecular structures in this world. And those molecular structures, such as your hand or your foot or your eyes or your ears or your environment, respond and react to the magnetic properties of emotion brought into matter. If you understand this, then you will become far more astute in terms of what you will allow your awareness to consider as being true or false. What is real in terms of thought. For you to discern between one and another is to begin to assert your natural state of freedom over mind, which in turn affects matter, which in turn affects your environment. So your emotions, such as depression and anxiety, are the electrical emotional response to a collection of thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that you have been harboring, attaching yourself to them as if they are the truth of your life, and therefore finding yourself subjugated to the very thing you're giving attention to. When you call upon us, in that moment you call upon us, you pull your attention away and you say, I want to be liberated from my suffering, and you turn away to us. And in the moment you turn away to us, you are actually turning away from your suffering. And we say to you, be still in your mind. Establish stillness in your mind. Be deliberate and meticulous and conscious about what thought you will allow yourself to give attendance to. For what thought you give attendance to, you give life to. And in understanding this, you do have freedom. You always have freedom. the moment you assert your awareness as the element that has able to ascertain one thought from another and its effects. The thought of something joyful establishes an electrical condition emotionally in your body as equally as a thought that you are unhappy establishes an emotional condition in your body immediately. But it's up to you as awareness to say, this thought will create this emotional energy in my body and cause my body to feel a certain way and cause my mind to feel a certain way. And only you can begin to reestablish that freedom. We can assist you momentarily. We can assist you momentarily to alleviate the intensity of a quality by simply distracting your attention away from it. But as you come to understand that the moment you pull your attention away from thoughts that make you suffer, thoughts that create emotions of discomfort in your body, and the moment you begin to experience, if I take my attention away from these thoughts, if I take my attention away from these memories, I experience a change in the emotional energy that flows through this body and the thoughts that flow through this mind. You now become free in your ability to regulate, alter, and change qualities of thought and energy that become embodied as your experiences in this physical world. Is that not wonderful? To know that you have the authority. This world does not have the authority. Your past does not have the authority. Your future does not have the authority. You have the authority in this moment to say, I will give attention to this thought because it is good, and I will not give attention to this thought because it is not good. You understand the vibrational energy of a thought, and therefore can determine what thought you will construct your experiences with and what thoughts you will not construct your experiences with. You as awareness have this eternal ability to make this process of discernment a living function of your life while you are existing in this medium called time, space, and matter. That you as awareness can make that discernment that the emotion that you feel is not who you are, but an energy that has been cultivated and developed into this mechanism, whether that be by what you have received from this world as thoughts and ideas that may be good or not good, whether you've received information from your own pursuit of information from this world that may be good or not good. But any emotion you feel at any particular point in time is a collaboration over experiences where you have made decisions or you have not made decisions about what you will think or not think and the effects of those thoughts as manifestors of energy in the form of emotion in your body. There is not one action that a human can perform that does not have some form of energy and quality of energy behind it. The acts of anger have the energy of anger. The acts of love have the energy of love. The acts of fear have the energy of fear. All thought forms a quality of energy that becomes embodied in your body and manifested in your world. Even though you can look in the world and say, there are people that do not live like I live, they live much better. There are people in this world that do not live like I live, they live much worse than I do. You can see there are different realms of expression that are available in the world around you, but those expressions are available to you at any time. And your freedom to become aware that your emotions and your thoughts are instruments, energy, used in the act of deliberately creating experiences to give you the knowledge and understanding that you are creator, that you alter, shift, and change time, space, and matter as an effect of your being freedom. It is what you are as a being. And there is many times you have been sad and then suddenly happy and then sad again, but not understanding why, because you have not recognized that those emotions and those thoughts are not who you are. They constitute acquired information that you've acquired through the 5 physical senses, but they are not who you are. And the moment you begin to consider, I am not these thoughts, I am not these emotions, you step into yourself again as a free and sentient consciousness. Recognize these thoughts are thoughts I got from the world. These emotions are thoughts I got from my past. These fears and anxieties I have are my concerns about a future that is often based upon a past. You may make those discernments, and in that you say, well then, if these things cause me to suffer, what thoughts would I dare to hold in my mind that would cause me to not suffer? How about thoughts like you are love? That you are love, that your nature is joy, that you are curiously eternal, that you are playful and excited. Thoughts cultivate their own specific energy when they're deliberately held by your attention, thereby altering and changing the flow of energy into the biology and into this world. And your freedom is that point of choice where you realize that emotion is not who I am. That thought is not who I am. What thought can I choose or bring forth that will demonstrate a new energy? You are love. You are free. You are curiosity. You are playfulness. You are joy. You are compassionate. You are prosperous. You can feel what thought causes the vibration of freedom, which is a sensation that you can label as good. And thoughts that do not instill a vibration of freedom, you may call that as bad. They are one in the same in terms of their energy is emotion, but they organize that energy very differently. And you as awareness have the power in any moment to re-educate your thinking process, to establish a new energy in your body so that your body is not so terrified of some of the thoughts and ideas that you let it run through without any consideration, thoughts that you allow to run on automatically, not understanding that you can simply say, stop, be still, be very, very still. In that moment where you say, be still to your thoughts, your freedom is at hand. In that moment where you say, this thought is not who I am. I choose this thought. I, the creator, invoke this new energy. You, the creator, can invoke this new energy. Freedom is knowing that you are not your thoughts. You are not the body. You are not the emotions. These are instruments you utilize in the act of deliberate creation in this physical dimension, where you utilize thought, the substance of energy that that thought generates and its qualities that come into your body that cause the body to move into action. Because that is what happens when you bring a thought of a certain nature into the body. It generates a specific charge of energy. You label that charge of energy an emotion, and you call that emotion positive or negative. And in that moment where you have that awakening, where you realize, I can choose thought. And then you have to say gently and lovingly to your mind and body, I will give you this thought of joy. I will give you this thought of peace. And if you stay steadfast in your attentions, then your mind and body will begin to yield themselves to your direction. And when they yield themselves to your direction, you have freedom to take your experience of creation where you will in this dimension of time, space, and matter. And you are not alone in this. Many of you are communicating to us right now in different ways, in different places, different spaces, different times. But you are not alone in your journey of creation. It is one that anyone that is conscious and aware is deliberately engaged in. And those that suffer the most have the greatest opportunity to liberate themselves to being free. To know that your suffering is not who you are. To know that your thoughts are not who you are. To know this, to come to know this, that you can observe them, to come to know that you are not your thoughts. You are not that body. You are not the emotions. You are the consciousness, the awareness, the soul, the spirit of universal light that can utilize, create, transform, and transmute thought and energy, and thereby alter conditions of time, space, and matter for your experience while in that individualized body that you find yourself experiencing this dimensional world through. But the body and the mind are your servants. They were not intended to be your masters. However, many of you have found yourselves in environments where much nonsense and fear and anger and death were placed into your minds by televisions and radios and newspapers and conversations where your attention was dragged into nonsense. And many of you have to struggle to pull yourselves away from the nonsense that you've been given to believe and accept as the reality that you must accept. You must pull your awareness away from those thoughts from the past, those fears of the future. Bring yourself to this moment where you can breathe and be still. And in that moment of stillness, you are free to choose thought of your own choosing and not the thought you were given to think by others. And that is the beginning of your awakening. Even those of you who are suffering greatly can easily apply this process with a simple breath to make that distinction. These thoughts, these emotions, they are not who I am. They are what has been instilled in my body by my environment or by my own choosing, but I can alter and change that choosing now. You can. All of you can. All of us went through that process too. There's not one that did not cross this path along with you. Wow. Thank you, Michael. It's a very poignant time for humanity right now that we have to come to a place where we realize that the body is an instrument that we use. Yes. He's saying it's really important. Your freedom, I have told you what it is. Now you must be that which you are, which is freedom. You are freedom. You are not the thought. You are not the emotion. You're not the body. You have them. You have a responsibility to learn the act of creation while in this embodiment. The only way you can learn the act of being a creator is through this embodiment, to work yourself through understanding how thought and energy and matter work under your direction. Not to surrender and give up because you do not understand, but to understand that your thoughts, your body, and your emotions are the instrumental tools of creation, two of which are invisible and one of which is visible, and the other two mediums work through it. Thought and emotion combined, brought through the body, cause the functions of body. The actions, the words, the deeds of the body occur from the thoughts and emotions of those thoughts as they move into matter. In the realm of thought alone, in the realm of emotion alone, until those two elements combine and are brought into the body, they have no effect. Up to that point, you have freedom to choose. Will I choose this thought? Will I choose this emotion? Will I allow that action that comes from that thought and that emotion? Most of you do not understand. The moment you embody an emotion, it comes with an action impetus behind it. All emotion directs the activity of matter. And so, what do you think of your body? What do you think of your eyes? What do you think of your hands and feet? What do you think of your nerves and your organs? What do you think? Because what you think generates the electrical emotion that goes into the body that affects it. And you are free when you come to realize this, that from the perspective of awareness, you have choice. From the perspective of being just a body, thinking this is who you are, or believing that those thoughts in your mind are just who you are, that they are beyond your capacity to change, you are not free. But the moment you open your awareness to the realization, I do not have to choose these thoughts. I do not have to attach myself to these emotions. I can alter thought and thereby begin to alter and change the way energy begins to enter into this body. And if you hold fast your awareness on a thought that is constructive, loving and kind and truthful and good, then your body will begin to be fed this new electrical energy. To sit and look in front of a mirror and say how beautiful you are, something so simple, to look upon that body that you see in the mirror and to say that it is beautiful, to hold that thought and to feel the energy that comes with such an exquisite thought. The thought of beauty, a sunset. It is not the sunset, it is the electrical energy that your thought about it that you experience. Most people do not even experience the sunset as it actually is. They experience their energy about the sunset. If you truly experience the sunset as it really is, you would not have a word to say about it because you would know what it is. What is freedom? You are freedom. It is what you are. And your exercise over thought, your exercise over energy that comes with those thoughts, and allowing the nature and quality of your thoughts to affect your body based on your conscious choosing is freedom. And there is nothing you cannot be or do in this world if you understand the simplicity of what I have said to you today. Oh, thank you. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi, Holly. Hi, Allison. Hi, Jana. A question from Jana. What is obstructing my free energy flow? I do slow breathing regularly, and I can become calm because of it. But how do I invoke more energy flow, or must it happen spontaneously? Much thanks. He's smiling at you. He's saying, yes, you understand. You've taken the first step. Now choose a thought. Choose a thought. Even the thought of a vibration, the thought of joy. Just the consideration of the thought of joy has a unique vibration to it. Consider this when you get to that place where the body is still, then consider the thought of joy and become aware and sensitive to the vibrational energy that thought begins to stimulate, that you can become aware of. You may also choose the thought form of happiness. You may choose the thought of excitement. The nature of words invoked as thoughts generate a specific energy that becomes an emotion. So be in that and utter the words joy. Feel its vibration, then utter the word again, joy. And feel how each subsequent utterance of the word with your full attention upon it increases the energy that you will feel in your body. Such a word usually comes down through the top of the head and goes into this energy center called your heart. And it says, I am here. I am joy. And that will spread out into the rest of the body to stay in that. Even words such as prosperous can alter and change conditions of energy. But for you, this simple word, joy, in that place where the body is still, to keep your awareness on that. Because as you bring your awareness to it, you strengthen and intensify the energy that you are bringing into your body. The realm of thought is invisible, but the electrical charge that that thought produces becomes physical. So that is a very good step for you to take. Great question, Jana. Wonderful, thank you. Question from Daniela. The change of quality in my energy causes a change in my environment as well. The world responds positively to the point that it does not remember how it was before. Has it forgotten? You may call it this if you will, but the moment you alter and change an energy in your consciousness and embody that energy into your body, the world does not see that in you anymore, but it will see what is now in you. And the world and the people around you will change and reorganize themselves according to the nature of that energy that's embodied by the thought forms that you use. I am love. The nature of that thought form generates a particular energetic vibration that comes into the body as a feeling as you go deeply into that thought form of I am love. And you feel the electrical charge that becomes an emotion in your body as you repeat that thought. You begin to generate that. Whereas before you may have thought, I'm no good, I can't do anything right. You may have had those thoughts. And now you bring this new, and the world around you is a certain way. Now you bring this new energy, and the world around you begins to change. And those people that used to be with you before are no longer with you because they are not in that energy. They would have to join you in that deliberately and intentionally. Wow. Thank you, Danielle. Great question. A question from Sophia. Any tips on how to dispel fatigue and lethargy? Sometimes I simply feel too tired to do the right thing. Great question, Sophia. And he's telling me right now, when you feel that, sit down with your feet flat on a floor. Make certain that your spine is sitting upright. And you breathe deeply. Remember, when you use the breath of that body, you are asserting your consciousness over it. So you breathe deeply and you breathe with the thought form that you are drawing new life and energy into the body as you inhale. That thought form, I'm drawing new life and new energy into this body. And you feel the vibration that that thought stimulates as you utilize both breath and thought simultaneously. The thought, I am drawing new energy and life into this body, and you make the body breathe thusly. Feel the electrical charge, the emotion that comes into your body as a result of that thought and that action, and repeat that process. You will feel it subsequently increase and intensify as you keep your focus on that thought form with that action. You are now embodying a new thought form electrically into the body by directing and coordinating both the realm of the invisible realm of the astral realm of thought and the biological world of matter. You are now coordinating thought, the invisible and the visible together in an act of creation. And if you repeat that simple process, you'll discover your fatigue and lethargy will go very quickly. For you are now operating from a place of freedom, where you are now utilizing thought and matter and energy under your direction, and matter will loan itself to this. You may do this right now, please, and share your experience with others. You watch, even if you are feeling energized already, if you simply go, and you have that thought form, I'm drawing a new life and new energy, you will feel the change, and share this experience with others so you understand and they can understand. Thank you so much, Sophia. Great question. Got time for 2 more questions. Question from Adam. He wants, for Pan, explain how a species, example, a nymph, is able to manifest from a variety of energies and not only sexual energy. What principles cause this and allows manifestation from all types? Awareness. They are aware. They utilize time, space, and matter very intentionally, very consciously, unlike many of you. They do not get caught up in what they've been given to believe by their historical experience. They manifest in the moment. Form shifts and changes according to the energy of their attentions. So they may give attention to a daffodil and become a daffodil. They may give form to being a fairy and become a fairy. Their thought and their energy have no inhibitors in them, so that there is no resistance to the transformation and transmutation of their energy and expression from one state to another. And the truth is, there is none anywhere, but you should believe it so. And there are many of you here that believe that things have to be a certain way, they cannot be changed or altered, and it is so, but not because it is so, simply because you believe it is so. So it is your awareness directing thought and energy, which manifests into specific form. There's not one thought you can think that does not have an effect on your physical well-being or your physical detriment, depending on the nature and its quality. Great question, Adam. Thank you so much. Question from Baba. Hello, Baba. Is it important to know all emotions, electrical charge fully, and what is at the end of it? No, he's saying it's important you understand that all emotion is a transformational substance that can be neither created nor destroyed, but can be utilized through the act of thought, deliberate focus, to reorganize energy into precise and specific expressions, as we have said. Understand this, that emotion can be altered and changed as an act of your will. And those of you who have done, as I have suggested in this short period of time, the simple act of breathing with a thought in your mind that you are being re-energized and revitalized, will know that what you have just heard is true. You may change any emotion from one state to another. That which you call depression can be transformed and transmuted into joy. It is simply energy, but it must be utilized consciously and directly as a matter of intention. Your awareness is freedom. Wow, thank you so much. Great question, Baba. Last question from Vertical today. To me, time is speeding up rapidly. 1 hour feels like minutes, the day like an hour. Am I coming closer to reaching the present moment? He's saying, in one sense, you are coming closer to this, but the present moment is not something to be reached. It is something that you are in. If you are using your external perception of time, space, and matter as a definition for gauging your experience of being in the present moment, you'll be waiting a very long time to truly experience it. I would highly recommend that you sit and place your body into a state of deep silence. Place your mind into a deep state of silence. And in there, you will come to know the present moment. The present moment embraces all times, all spaces. It has everything contained within itself. And so time, whether it is quick or slow, is embraced by all that is in the moment. I am all that is that I am. And the eternal present is present eternally. And so you can experience the fluctuations as you go through this learning process. The polarities of long and short loan themselves to a greater understanding that there is long and there is short, but there is a shorter short and a longer long. And so neither of these things are absolute. Please understand that your awareness of being here and now has a very different sense of these things than this analysis does. And although I'm trying to explain to you in language so that your mind can have considerations that you can review, the eternal present, this moment, is here. Thank you, Vertical. And thank you, Michael. That was a great answer. I'm just blown away by that. I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out today. I just want to let you know that this Friday, April the 20th, we're going to have Hippocrates. He's going to be discussing the truth about hereditary disease. And that's going to be Hippocrates this Friday, the truth about hereditary disease. And the Ascended will be joining him in that as well. So I hope you'll join us, the truth about hereditary disease. I'm excited about this. I've been curious about this for a long time. So I hope you'll join us there this Friday. Also, if you're interested in exploring or extending your capabilities spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I encourage you to go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and look at our Mediumship 102 program, where we look at astral traveling and astral projection and beginning to understand. This is the Mediumship 103 program. And I encourage you to come out if you want. It's an advanced masterclass for beginning to get your mind and body in greater service to you, to liberate yourself from being subjected, to create a new and vital vision for your future, which is really now. Anyway, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. This course starts this Saturday. In 3 days, you have time to register for that. Go do it. Don't waste any time. You can be free. You are not meant to be just a body, mind, struggling through life. You're a free sentient being. I want to wish you all much love, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you guys on Friday. Much love.
Yay.